Welcome back. This is quite a day for red letter date anniversaries of a Kern County nature. In addition to the 160th anniversary of the Keysville Massacre on what today is Isabella Lake, which we will talk about shortly, today, April 19th, also marks the 120th anniversary of another traumatic day in local history.
That would be the 1903 Joss House Shootout, which, unlike the barely acknowledged atrocity of 40 years earlier involving Kern River Valley Indians, blared across newspaper headlines from New York to San Francisco. Joining us now with a commemoration of that day in 1903 is 17's Robert Price. Robert?
Jim, Tammy, when we think of the Old West, many of us probably envision cattle drives and lawless outposts like Tombstone, Arizona and Dodge City, Kansas, places where the Old West mythology lived. Well, in a very real sense, the Old West came to Bakersfield to die, ironically, literally, right next door to our KGET studios here at 21st and L Streets. Then in the middle of what a century ago was the city's old vice-riddled Chinatown section.
The 1903 shootout happened at a place that looked a lot like this replica Joss House, a Chinese temple, boarding house, social gathering place, and in the basement, opium den. It was April 19th, 1903, and local lawmen had gotten wind the night before that a murder suspect, a desperado from Porterville by way of Yuma, well known to all of them, was in Bakersfield. Jim McKinney, a 42-year-old outlaw with a whiskey problem, was holed up inside the Joss House with his friend, an opium addict and general good-for-nothing named Al Hulsey, and Hulsey's girlfriend. Hulsey had been out drinking the night before, and when he heard his friend's name come up at the bar, he couldn't help himself. Jim McKinney, he said, I happen to know he's not 300 yards from this very place. McKinney's name was on every lip because he was on the run from the law in Arizona territory where he had killed 2 innocent men just a few days before. All told, he had killed at least 6 men, and now there was a $500 bounty on his head. Bakersfield lawmen were soon made aware of Hulsey's boast. Marshal Jeff Packard and Deputy Will Tibbett actually knew McKinney well, and Packard at least liked him. See, McKinney could be a fairly agreeable character when he was sober, but he was a menace when he was drunk, and that was the case more and more often. And now, hunkered down in the Joss House, surrounded by saloons frequented by hard-drinking, fast-spending oil field workers, he was on edge. He'd been wounded by an Arizona sheriff's shotgun blast, but escaped, and now, possibly with infection setting in, was even more dangerous than usual. 10 lawmen, local as well as members of a posse that had chased McKinney west from Arizona, met a few blocks from the Joss House and worked out a plan. They rode to the area of the Joss House in 3 separate carriages by 3 separate routes and took up positions around 21st and 22nd Street. Jeff Packard and Will Tibbett rode together, while Tibbett's brother, Deputy Burt Tibbett, rode with the Tulare County Sheriff. Upon their arrival, Will Tibbett and Jeff Packard took their sweet time tying their horse and buggy to the hitching post, talking loudly as they did so, assuming they would be observed. They entered the Joss House through the back staircase, a shotgun and a rifle in their grasps, as the other lawmen stood watch out of sight. Packard and Tibbett peered down halls and opened unlocked doors, peering inside only to find clusters of Chinese immigrants huddled quietly inside. Finally, one room remained. Tibbett tried the door. It was locked. Packard ordered the Joss House proprietor to open it, but the man said he didn't have the key. Tibbett fished out the skeleton key he carried for such occasions. Inside the room, Jim McKinney and Al Hulsey listened as the key rattled in the lock. "We're in for it," McKinney said. "Let's go," Hulsey said, and they lifted their shotguns to shooting position, Hulsey just behind and to one side of McKinney. The door flew open and the 2 desperados fired. Tibbett, hit in the stomach, was violently propelled backward from the force of the blasts. Packard fired his rifle, but improbably, a portion of a bullet from one of the bad men's weapons entered the barrel of Packard's gun, and Packard, hit multiple times, tumbled backward. McKinney and Hulsey stepped through the door, correctly anticipating further gunfire exchange. Will Tibbett, with a rifle bullet in the right side and buckshot wounds in his hands and face, staggered through the rear door and collapsed at the foot of the steps, having never even fired a shot. Burt Tibbett, his brother, came running up the alley, crossed L Street, and headed for the rear of the Joss House. There he saw Packard standing next to the outhouse door, bloody and weaponless. "Look out," Packard shouted. "He's in the door." Burt whirled around in time to see McKinney's shotgun poking through a crack in the partially open door. McKinney peered around to get a look, and for a moment, a scant 12 feet apart, The men stared down the barrels of each other's shotguns. Tibbet fired first, and McKinney fell back, but then scrambled to his feet. Bert Tibbet looked down and saw his brother still barely breathing. He looked up in time to see McKinney there again, this time just 6 feet away, and preparing to fire. Bert Tibbet again fired first, and this time Jim McKinney was finished. Bakersfield at the time did not have a functioning hospital, so Will Tibbet was taken to the Southern Hotel at the corner of 19th and Chester, where J.C. Penney now stands. He died there 2 hours after the shootout, but not before he identified Al Hulsey as the man who shot him. Jeff Packard seemed to have survivable wounds, but he died at 5 a.m. the next morning at his home on 18th Street. Jim McKinney's body was taken here to Payne Mortuary on 18th Street. His body was dressed and photographed in the basement of what would later become the headquarters of the Junior League of Bakersfield. The shootout made headlines across the country. New York, Philadelphia, Boston, all were fascinated by the tale, many of them having sent correspondents to California to follow the chase of the last Old West bad man. Long after those cities had discovered more refined avenues of entertainment, they remained fascinated in this real-life dime store novel. Al Hulsey had somehow snuck away from the Joss House that Sunday morning, but then he appeared 3 blocks away wearing a "who me" expression and claiming to have never been inside, but rather drinking in a nearby saloon. He was convicted of murder on Will Tibbet's dying words. For a time, wild, untamed Bakersfield used the Joss House shootout as a lesson, a compelling reason the oil boom capital of California would need to join the 20th century with the rest of the country. That commitment would prove short-lived, but those are stories for another day.
The Old West had Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and a whole host of mythologized bad men. Bakersfield's contribution was Jim McKinney, a name that may not ring with the same familiarity to some, but admire him or despise him, he was ours.
That is a lot of history, and yet, incredibly, you have more for us also on this date in history. And this was not a laughing matter. The Keysville Massacre, 35 unarmed members of a Kern River Valley tribe slaughtered 160 years ago today. How is it so few of us were aware of this tragedy, Bob?
Well, the native people of the region know the story very well, but there were so many massacres of this type. This was just another one that was sort of lost to time, but it really did some damage to the history and culture of this particular tribe, the Tlatalabal, the local Pinon people of the Kern River Valley.
And so what kind of repercussions, if any, did the perpetrators of the massacre in this case suffer?
Well, not much. The captain who led the massacre, Moses McLaughlin, was court-martialed, but not for this massacre. He was court-martialed for some other business.
This is fascinating stuff, and I'm looking forward to it this evening. This is a half-hour 17 News special report. You put a lot of work into this.
Been working on it for about a month.
Wow.
So
All right.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks
we're
a lot,
looking forward
Bob.
to it tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.